So for this video, it's looking at non-right angled trigonometry, and specifically, we're going to look at two different ways that you can find the area of a triangle. We'll go into cosine and sine rule in another video. But to start with, there's this one formula which involves sine. So this is where you've got two sides and the included angle. So what that means is we've got the two sides that I've circled here, and we would be given that included angle. So to be able to do this, you have to have that included angle. So for finding the area of a triangle without knowing the perpendicular height, we can use this formula here. The area is equal to half AB sine C. And you can see it's using those things that I've circled on that triangle. So I've got an example. I've chosen a triangle that uses X, Y, and Z to show you that it's not always A, B, and C, but that's just the generic formula. You have to be able to have the knowledge to apply that you need two sides and the included angle. So you can see here we've got two sides and the angle between them. So for this particular triangle, we can find the area using that formula. So we would do half of A times B. So that's half of one side times the other. Then we multiply it by sine of that included angle. And once you do that, you should get 19.8 to one decimal place. And its area, so we do centimetres squared. So it's fairly simple, and it's a fairly simple formula, as long as you can remember that it has to be that included angle. This next example is one where we have to work backwards to find the angle. So for here, we've been told the area of the triangle, but we've got to work backwards to find this angle here that's not labelled, but it is now. So we're trying to find angle A because that's the included angle. So to do this, we have to work backwards, but to start, we will write in the information that we know. So we've got 188.4 is equal to half of 23 times 20 times sine of A in this case. So to work backwards, we need sine of A is equal to 188.4 divided by half times 23 times 20. Because all I've done there is move this section over to the other side, and because it's currently multiplication, it becomes division on the other side. Now, of course, just like with normal right angled trig, to be able to find an angle, you need to use the inverse of sine. So you can actually work out what the 188.4 over 1/2 times 23 times 20 equals, or you can just type it into your calculator as it's written there, and then you can get your answer. And to the nearest whole number, you should have come out with 55 degrees. Now, even though this is non-right angled trigonometry, your calculators still need to be set in degrees, not in radians or gradians. So that's using the area A equals half AB sine C. The other time you might be asked to find the area of a triangle, or you need to know the area of a triangle, but you don't have that perpendicular height or an angle, you might be given only the three sides of the triangle, in which case you have to use what we call Heron's formula. And you can see it's here in the red box. So the area is equal to S, the square root of S times S take A times S take B times S take C, where S is what we call the semi-perimeter, and it's A plus B plus C divided by 2. So I'm going to do an example now using that formula. So you can see here this triangle only has sides given to us. We don't have any angles. We also don't have the perpendicular height. So we're going to use Heron's formula. Step number 1 is always find the semi-perimeter. So again, we just add the three sides together and divide it by 2 to give us 29.5. And then you need to put it into Heron's formula. Now, the important part here is what I would always do is work out what it equals under the square root sign and then do the square root of that on your calculators. Otherwise, you have to include another set of brackets because your calculators are programmed to do the square root of the first thing and then it will multiply by all of the others. So it's important here just to work out what it equals under that square root sign and then do it. So we would have here 29.5 times 29.5 take away 17 times 29.5 take away 22 times 29.5 take away 20. Just run out of a little bit of room there. Then I would type in what's under that square root sign and find that out. And that equals 26,273.4375. Now, my recommendation here is to not round until the very last moment, which is when you do the square root. And once you do the square root of that, you should get an area of 162.1 square centimetres to 1 decimal place. And that's how you use Heron's formula. It's really only used when you have the three sides. Otherwise, if you've got the perpendicular height, or you can find the perpendicular height, or you've got an angle, you can use half AB sine C, or just the ordinary formula, half the base times the height. And that's all there is to know about area of a non-right angled triangle.